Good evening, everyone. I'm Keisha Adderley. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Chris Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. With crime figures down, Bahamar sold, a new University of the Bahamas, and major strides in healthcare. The nation's chief, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, says his administration has done well and should be reelected.
His comments came yesterday during a press conference announcing an historic aviation breakthrough, which creates a major source of revenue for the country.
Clint Watson tells us more tonight about what the Prime Minister had to say about his administration's work this term as they head into the 2017 general election.
We believe that regardless to what has been said and what is believed by some, that we have done an outstanding job for and on behalf of the Bahamian people.
Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie says in the fullness of time and with tangible evidence, it will be his government's responsibility to explain why he has reached this conclusion.
We are unable to control opinions of the written press, nor should we be. People have the right to arrive at their own conclusions and their own recommendations. All I would urge my colleagues to understand is that we have a responsibility for ensuring that the people of the Bahamas understands the truth as we see it, so that there's balance in what people are able to decide upon.
Mr. Christie says Bahamians are entitled to know about breakthroughs his administration has made for their benefit, like Bahamar, the airspace agreement, and many others, without cluttering opinions from those who may have an agenda.
I happen to have a conviction, right, that if justice is done, that the people of the Bahamas will see that we have earned the right for their respect in how we've gone about governing, and that we have earned their confidence in their being able to determine that we ought to be given an opportunity to form a new government after the next general election.
The Boundaries Commission report, which will determine the number of constituencies and their boundaries, has been delayed. Prime Minister Christie revealed that before the report can be tabled and made public, he'll have the final say.
Constitutionally, the Prime Minister has to play a role in the redistricting, if it takes place, of the Constituencies Commission. Ultimately, the report goes to the Prime Minister, who has the responsibility of reviewing it, and if necessary, using his own powers that exist to make decisions with respect to what has been recommended. That process, for example, has not been completed, and you could not even conceive of having elections until we've reached a point where we've determined which constituencies will exist as is, and what constituencies will change. And that's a process that the Constituencies Commission is now involved in, and we anticipate will soon be brought to a conclusion.
The Prime Minister says the government's agenda is rapidly moving to completion, and that means the country's general elections are not far off. While we do not yet know a date, we do know, according to Mr. Christie, the window is narrowing.
There are no secrets to what time we have left between the month of January and the month of May, and therefore people are best advised, if they want to exercise their constitutional right, that they can only do so if they are registered.
Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.